Did you know that restorative yoga, what we're doing today, what you're doing today, helps keep you injury-free and prevents injury? Oh my gosh, how wonderful is that? How does it do it? Keeps you more flexible and it keeps you more mobile. How? Well, you rest, relax in this practice. You rest the muscles. You rest in a full range of motion stretch. We get into that big, long, good stretch, and you find new levels of depth in the pose than a faster paced yoga that we, kind of rush through and move and, do that full range of motion. But you stay in these poses for a longer period of time. You get your head out of your body and you let the body rest into the full range of motion. That's what a restorative practice does. We're going to go slowly. We don't need a lot of poses. I think today we've got 6. We have 6 poses, so just let the magic happen. I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. Our focus today is on your hips and your low back. You're really going to like it. Whatever you do, do what's right for your body, as the bottom of our screen says. You don't ever want to hurt. Every day we do something different. We practice differently. We do vinyasa. We do restorative. We do yin. We do Pilates and bar and weights on Fridays. We call that our Yoga Plus. It's Fun Fridays. So come, do what you can, do what you like, relax, enjoy your time on your mat. What we've been thinking about all this week is balancing effort with ease. So, think about ups and downs, right? Life, ups and downs, the fast pace, the slow pace, the good, the bad. It's all part of reality. So let's focus on this reality of our moment right here, right now. Grab your props, kind of props you'd want for today's practice are your big bolster or a big cushion from your pillow. That would work too, but buy a yoga bolster. A yoga block or 2, the regular standard size or the little half size. We're going to do a half pigeon today. It's called a sleeping swan in a restorative practice. But you know how we slip the block under our hips? Maybe this other block is a better height. But whatever, fine tune your yoga to make it work for you. Eye shade towel and a nice little blanket. Be near a wall. Let's go. All right, so be near a wall, because you know what that means. We're going to do legs up the wall. All right, as you get set up, lock in a stress number in your mind. What's going on today? Scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, whatever. What number are you? I'm going to use my bolster in a vertical position on my mat. I'm also going to use my block at the top of the mat. Maybe a half-size block is better for you, because that'll bring your head down more. You decide. I'm going to scoot the bolster really close so I can rest my bottom on it, and then I'm going to bring my chest down to the bolster. You could put a blanket on your bolster if that feels better for you. I'm going to introduce the block. I'm going to have my face in this void between the block and the bolster and just kind of rest my bridge of my nose onto the block. All right, today, this is a 5-minute child's pose. Settle in and get comfortable. That's the most important thing. Get comfortable to begin with. So just think of your shoulders releasing broadly to the sides of your mat. Just have a broad back, which is kind of the opposite of what happens when we're tense. You know how you close in and everything feels tight when you want to protect yourself? So let your back open up. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Rest here. You can always put a towel on your block. Be creative, be comfortable, and just be in this moment. Take your deep breaths in through the nose for the first couple, and then out through the mouth as you sigh it out for the first couple of breaths. Adjust your knees so you feel really comfortable and almost like that bolster is part of your body as you just rest all of your weight onto the bolster. Arms wherever you like, whatever feels comfortable. Let it go. Be here in the present moment. Unclench your jaws if your teeth are touching. As you focus on just the breath, let all the thoughts go. Don't worry about what was or what is going to be. Just focus on what is right here, right now. To focus on the breath even more, close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose. Deep breaths, feel the back broaden. And deep exhales, feel even more as one with your bolster.
Still the mind to let the body unwind. Your body is heavy. The focus is only your breath. No thoughts, no troubles, no worries. Everything is at peace right here, right now. Deepen your breath. Take a deep breath in. And a deep, slow breath out. Slowing everything down. Stay here longer in your very comfortable supported child's pose. If you'd like to move on to a caterpillar pose to stretch your spine and your hamstrings, let's slowly come out of this. Maybe you keep your eyes closed as you press on up. Remove your bolster and come to a seated position. All right, so we're going to send our legs long. A couple ways you can do this. Some of us have really tight hamstrings, and if this is just super uncomfortable to send your legs long, maybe put your folded blanket underneath your knees. That instantly feels better for me. So maybe you try that. Place the bolster on top of your legs. I think that feels really nice. It's kind of like, a weighted blanket feels so good. Maybe put this onto your legs. Maybe make the bolster seem a little higher by putting a block with a towel on it onto your bolster. And then hinge forward a little bit or a lot. It's up to you. I'm going to set a 5-minute timer here as we stretch out the spine and stretch out the hamstrings. Rest your head on whatever setup you have is comfortable. This might be where you'd want to use that half-size block. Maybe the full-size block is just a little too high. Maybe the bolster alone is just a little too low. So that's where you could use a half-size block. It's not tricky. You just figure out what works for you. And rest here. 5 minutes, the timer's going. As time goes on, no rush, no hurry. You only do what feels right for you. When you get super deep into the pose and you feel, hey, I've come this far, maybe I can go farther, then you remove a block maybe, or remove a towel that you have here, and let your head come down even closer to your bolster. And maybe over time, the hamstrings are feeling a little looser, you can remove your blanket. So just listen to your body. Stretch the hips, stretch the spine, stretch the hamstrings, and breathe. Don't stress out. If you need to reintroduce a prop, do it. You got lots of them here. Adjust so you're comfortable and you feel like, oh, I could stay here all day long. Breathe out and allow your shoulders to come further away from your ears. Put a little bit of emphasis on deepening your exhale, thinking of the belly button going all the way back to the spine allows you to fold a little more deeply into your pose. Inhale, your spine lengthens. Exhale, you fold in half even more. So just take a moment and be aware of how far you've come in this short little 5 minutes. You've stretched the spine and the hamstrings in the back of the legs. How does it feel? If you feel that you want to go farther, stick with it, 5, 7, 10 minutes. Maybe you want to do that. I'm going to come out of this pose and I'm going to go to a wide-legged forward fold to further stretch the hips and the spine. All right, so I'm going to come on up. If you want to stay in your caterpillar with this bolster, go for it. So for the wide-legged forward fold, I'm going to remove the bolster and I'm going to spread the legs wide. I'm going to bring a combination of the blocks, 1, 2, all of them, or however many you want to use. Bring them between your legs. You could use the bolster too, but the blocks give you more flexibility to adjust the height as time goes on. Now this is going to be a long one. This is 10 minutes here. 10 minutes seems forever. But get out of your head. Let the magic work. Stretch your hips and your spine here. I'm going to stack up some blocks. You could keep your forearms on your blocks and stack your blocks any which way feels right for you. But this trick is you want to rest your head. If you're not resting your head, adjust. You don't want to be just hanging out here. You want to rest your head onto the blocks, and you want to let all of that weight of your head fall on the blocks. Then all of the weight of your shoulders can come down. So adjust your blocks so you can do this pose. I'm going to set that 10-minute timer. It's going to seem like forever right now, but trust me, it's not. It's going to be a great period of time for this pose. You could put little towels underneath your knees if they don't feel good, stretched, and you adjust the height of your blocks. Move them forward a bit maybe to adjust for the size of your torso. Soften your shoulders. And just be. Lots of heights of your blocks. Take it slowly. Don't rush it. If you've gone too far and you say, ooh, this isn't right for me, put the block back up higher until your head can fully rest and feel no tension at all. At that point, then adjust your blocks. Be still. Calm the mind. Come back to your present moment. And breathe deeply. Deepen your breath. Come back to your present moment if your mind is starting to wander. I hope you're experimenting with the heights of the block underneath your head. Take it slowly. Breathe through it. Soften in the hips to create space. And get out of your head. You can do more than you think you can. Just get out of the way, get out of those negative thoughts. You gotta go slow before you can go fast. Breathe in. Slowly let it go. We've got about 3 minutes left. Just surrender to gravity. Might help to sigh it out a little bit. And then come back to your peaceful Ujjayi pranayama breath as you focus inward. Deepen your breath, broaden in the shoulders. Full exhale, release, let it go. Got about 1.5 minutes to go. Settle in. Go with the flow of your breath. Deep inhales, full exhales. Maybe start to reintroduce your blocks slowly. Take a breath on each level as you go up. Deep breath in, deep breath out, bringing it up nice and slowly, resting the head. It's all part of the process, right? Reintroduce the blocks slowly. Work your way back up. And slowly bring your shoulders over your hips. How was that? I hope it was fun for you. Maybe you still want to stay there longer. I'm going to remove my blocks, bring my legs back to the midline of my body, and we're going to go into a half pigeon pose. In a restorative practice, you call it sleeping swan. Okay, so for this is where you might want to use your full-size block or your smaller size block and your bolster. All right, we're going to do 5 minutes in half pigeon. But let me ask you a question first. How did you do in that wide-legged forward fold? It was 10 minutes. Were you able to fold more forward as time went on? And do you just feel kind of refreshed in your hips? That sounds kind of weird, but do you feel that way? All right, so let's get back into the hips. The hips, the sacrum, and the low back for this one. All right, so I'm going to bring the bolster horizontal to the top of my mat. I'm going to have a block. I'm going to bring it down by my hips. I'm going to extend my left leg long and bend my right leg, bringing my knee up behind the bolster. I'm going to send the left leg long. Maybe, you know, you're going to be here for 5 minutes. Maybe if it doesn't feel so great on your knee, put a blanket or a little towel under the knee if that feels better for you. Right knee is up by the bolster. I'm going to capture my right foot and work my shin a little more parallel to the top of the mat. As I do that, my right hip starts to want to collapse down. You can slip one block or the other underneath the right hip to ensure that the hip stays equidistant to the other hip to the ground. Come down onto your forearms. 5-minute timer here. Big stretch in the hips. Rest onto your bolster. Maybe hands are on top of each other. Soften in your shoulders and soften both hips equally down toward the earth. Left leg is long. Top of the left foot is on your mat. Maybe the bolster here feels nice and you want to stay right here as you feel this nice big stretch in the right hip and the right glutes. Maybe you just want to move that bolster away and come down to your forearms. Remember, you could put the blanket under your forearms, whatever feels good to you. Feel totally supported in your pose. Soften in the shoulders as you exhale. The breath, think of sending it to your right hip. As you create space here, this deep stretch will increase your stability, your flexibility, and your mobility in that joint and in your whole body. So as long as it doesn't hurt, breathe through it. Not particularly comfortable, but as time goes on, you will find that this does get more comfortable. Maybe sigh it out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. As long as this pose isn't putting you in pain, stay with it. It may be uncomfortable. Oh, I think it is uncomfortable. But you breathe through that discomfort, and after a few minutes, it begins to feel really good. So just try to hang with it and not run from the pose. It'd be easy to say, I'm coming out. Deep breaths, soft shoulders. Think of all that breath creating space in your hip. Let your belly soften. Just be here with this feeling in your right hip right now. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. That's 5 minutes on that side. All right, let's come out of it. Press into your arms, straighten them up. Tuck your back, left toes under, and slowly adjust here. You're going to shake out the right leg. Bring it back to meet the left. Bring your block to the other side. Just lift the leg up, shake it out, bend it, however feels good for you. Maybe a little fire hydrant-like pose or donkey kick. Circle it around and enjoy that newfound mobility in that hip. All right, let's do it again on the other side. Bend your left knee this time. Right leg goes long on your mat. Shin of the left leg, work it a little more parallel to the top of your mat. Settle in here. Just kind of move your hips a little bit and just feel what I mean about having your hips equidistant to the mat. So the inclination is to collapse into that left hip. Bring the block, whichever block you like, underneath your left hip, so you don't even have to think about your hips anymore. And then come on down. Come on down for your 5-minute hold here in your sleeping swan pose. Reintroduce the bolster if you want. Rest your forearms on it. Rest your head on it as you adjust that right leg nice and straight and long. Soften in the shoulders. Breathe deeply. Now just observe. You just came in to this side. Think about how the other hip felt when you finished it. You're going to get there with this one too. All good things take time, you know that. Rest, refresh, restore, and reinvigorate. When you're ready, if you're ready, move the bolster away. You don't have to. Totally fine to keep it the entire time. What matters is how you feel in that hip. Soften the shoulders, soften the belly, extend the right leg. Send the breath to your left hip. Come back to your deep breaths. Feel how the depth of your breath affects the pose. Really exhale. Really let the hips come toward the earth. Inside of a minute here to go. So really explore with your breath how deep you can take this pose. Really try to surrender even more in your shoulders and your hips as your belly comes closer to the mat. And there's total relaxation in your hips. Just a few more breaths. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. been 5 minutes on this side. Let's slowly come out of this pose. Just appreciate how over time the sensations changed, and I hope it felt really, really good for you. Remove your props. Slowly press on up to your neutral tabletop-like position. Lift the leg, shake it out, move it to what feels good for you, and just appreciate the newfound space in that hip. All right. Here's where we're going to go next. Maybe even take a drink of water. We're going to go do legs up the wall, and we're going to use just the blanket at our small back and the eye shades. All right, so make your way to a wall. If you don't have a wall nearby, here's what you can do. You can have a sofa or a chair nearby and scoot your bottom on the ground up next to it, and then swing your legs up and place your calves onto the chair. So when your legs go up, I'm going to make my way to the wall. Your heart rate, your anxiety, your tension, your stress all comes down. It's also said to help with insomnia, with circulation in the legs, cramps in the legs, restless leg syndrome, relaxes the pelvic floor, helps with fibromyalgia, menopause, and just an overall sense of well-being. So let's make our way there. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to use the blanket and the eye shade. Best part, the eye shade. Make your way to the wall. We're going to stay here a good while too. So scoot one hip up to the wall. Come on down. Bring your legs up. Place them on the wall. And here's how I'm going to use the blanket. You could cover your belly with it if you want, but I'm going to slip it under my bottom, under my low back. The best way to do that, because you're scooted up next to the wall, bend your knees, press your feet into the wall, then put your blanket underneath there. Lift the legs back up, heels onto the wall, cover your eyes with your eye shade or your towel. Cover up here, and you have a choice. We're going to stay here for either about 7 minutes or longer if you want to stay for the rest of the practice here. The only pose after this will be our final Shavasana pose. So you don't have to decide right now, just enjoy the moment, and when the time is up, I will let you know, and then you can decide. All right, heels are on the mat, or heels are on the wall. The blanket feels good underneath the low back. Your call if you want to do something different with it. If the low back is really feeling it after today's practice, you can take your feet and bend your knees and have the soles of your feet on the wall. That feels pretty good too. Arms wherever you like. One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly is a nice way to stay inwardly connected. You can tee out your arms if that feels good for you. You could also goalpost your arms if you like that. You know, elbows to about shoulder height, backs of the forearms on the earth. Or take it even farther and bring your arms up overhead, elbows bent, reaching hands for opposite elbows. And rest here. Do what you like. Do what makes you feel comfortable. Get out of your head and just breathe. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Soft shoulders. Soft hips. Deepen your breath. Soft shoulders, soft hips. Take a deep breath in and a deep, slow breath out. Stay here longer if you like. It's a great pose to finish your practice in. I'm going to go to a final Shavasana pose next. When you're ready to come off the wall, you'll just bend your knees, roll off one side or the other, and then bring your blanket, your bolster, and your eye shade to your mat. I'm going to put the bolster underneath my knees. You don't have to have any of this stuff. You can just lie totally down on your mat. Blanket, I just like to cover my belly, come to fully reclined, cover the eyes with the eye shade or the towel, adjust, get comfortable, be at peace. You can have absolutely nothing here. That's just a classic final Shavasana pose. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. Nestle in, settle in, maybe wiggle your shoulders a little closer to your spine. Maybe let your pinky toes, which are near the edges of your mat, maybe let them fall even closer to the earth. Eyes closed. Eye shade makes a huge difference. Just put a towel or an eye shade over the eyes to block out the light. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Be at peace right here, right now. Take your deep breath in and your deep breath out. This is your practice. Maybe you're still in your child's pose. Maybe you're loving that wide-legged forward fold and you're all still there. Maybe you've got your legs up the wall and that is speaking to you in this moment. If you'd like to stay longer in whatever pose you're in, maybe hit the pause button on your remote and enjoy your yoga on your mat longer. If it's time to conclude your practice and live your yoga off of your mat, let's take a deep breath in. Start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Maybe sigh it out. Move the motion up to your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, reach high up overhead. Take a big good morning stretch as if it were the first stretch of your day. And exhale. Slowly bend the elbows and the knees. Roll any props away that you don't want in the way anymore. And come into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. The ups and downs, the ins, the outs. Such is life. When you're ready, maybe stay longer or press on up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe you keep your eyes closed or open them. You decide what feels right for you. Hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in. Lengthen up, feel refreshed. Exhale, take a deep breath out. Let it go. Gently blink your eyes open. How'd you do? I think the hour flies by, especially when you stay in the poses super long times. Okay, stress number, what was it? And more importantly, what is it now? That's the most important thing. Hello to my buddies, Canal, Betty, Diane, Lynn, Christy, Tyrone, Stan, Marietta, Tina, Rena, Liz, Kelly, Rob. Glad to see you guys. I'm glad you're here. Okay, as you go on with your day, think this. This is lovely. Let a peace that transcends all understanding guard your heart and your mind today and always. It's from Philippians. Chapter 4, verse 7. You guys have a great rest of your day. Love you. See you on your mats tomorrow. Be calm. Love you guys. Bye. Hello. You're not calm. You're a good girl. Yes, you are. You're still here, and I'm really glad for that. Keep this in mind. The path is made through repetition. Keep showing up, and good things will happen. You know that. I'm glad that you're still sticking around. Tell your friends what the yoga's doing for you. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and they can join in anytime from the privacy of their own home. Tell them about our practice, please. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay on your path, enjoy your yoga, and have a great rest of your day. See you on your mats tomorrow.